and he will be performing a, hold on, I gotta find it, prose piece, The God of Cake.
No bond is more powerful than that between kids and sugar. And when that bond is challenged, desperation breeds ingenuity. The God of Cake by Alan Glass. Mom baked the most fantastic cake for my grandfather's birthday. The cake was slattered in big frosting and topped with delightful creatures that my mom crafted out of marshmallows and toothpicks. It was a feat of wonder, half toy, half cake, and all glorious possibility. But my mom knew that it was extremely important to keep the cake away from me. Because he knew that if I was allowed even a tiny amount of sugar, not only would I become intensely hyperactive, but the entire scope of my existence would funnel down to a singular goal of obtaining more sugar. So when I climbed onto the counter and grabbed a handful of cake while my mom's back was turned, a chain reaction was set into motion. Cake! Cake is the only thing that matters! Her next attempt at cake security involved putting the cake in the refrigerator and then placing a very heavy box in front of the refrigerator's door. The box was far too heavy for me to move. When I discovered that I couldn't move the box, I decided that the next best strategy would be to numerically follow my body against it until my mom was forced to move it or allow me to destroy myself. Surprisingly, this tactic did not garner my sympathy. She told me to get up and go play with my toys. I went and played with my toys, but I did not enjoy it. I had to stay focused. My mom finally came to get me. I was herded into the car and strapped securely into my car seat. As if to taunt me, my mom placed the cake just out of my reach. We arrived at my grandparents' house, and I was immediately accosted by my grandmother while my mom walked away holding the cake. I could see my mom and the cake disappeared into the hallway. I struggled against my grandmother's loving embrace, but my efforts were futile. I heard the sound of a door shutting, and then a lock slide into place. My mom had locked the cake in the back bedroom. How was I going to get to it now? I couldn't take it. My little mind began to crumble. And then, right there in my grandmother's arms, I lapsed into a full-scale psychological meltdown. It was decided that I would need to go play outside until I was able to stop yelling and punching. I was banished to the patio, while I stood peering through the sliding glass door, trying to look as painful as possible. I knew the cake was locked securely in the bedroom, but if I could just get them to let me aside, maybe I could possibly build an explosive device or some sort of police system. I had to try, but at that point, my only real option was to manipulate their emotions so they pity me and allow me to get closer to the cake. When my theatrics failed, I resorted to crying very loudly right up against the glass. I carried on in that fashion until my mom poked her head outside, and instead of taking pity on me and inviting me back inside, told me to go play in the side yard because my sobbing was upsetting my grandmother. I trudged around to the side of the house, and as I rounded the corner, I saw a sliver of hope. Just above my head, there was a window. On the other side of that particular window was the room in which my mom had locked the cake. The window was open. I clambered up the side of the house, and suddenly, there I was, mere feet from the cake. I couldn't fully believe what had just occurred. I crept toward the cake, my body quivering with anticipation. It was all mine! All mine! I ate the entire cake! At one point, I remember becoming aware of the oppressive fullness building inside me. I kept eating, a combination of spite, stubbornness. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, my mother suddenly noticed that she hadn't had my toys inside in a while. When she couldn't find me anywhere, she finally thought to unlock the bedroom door and peek inside. And there I was. I spent the rest of the evening running around like a maniac and regurgitating the remains of my conquest all over my grandparents' carpet. I was so miserable, but my suffering was small compared to the satisfaction I felt every time my horrible, conniving mother had to watch me wrench up another rainbow of sweet, semi-digested success. This is for you, Mom! This is what happens when you try to get between me and cake. It didn't matter how violently ill I felt. In that moment, I was a god. The god of cake. And I was unstoppable!